Hey, good morning, everyone. Just wanted to come on. I'm coming on today instead of tomorrow, as I am going to be traveling tomorrow, and didn't want you guys to miss out on any information that I've got going. So, wanted to just come on today. Typically, it's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. About 10 o'clock is when I'm going to come on. I'll be on live Facebook and YouTube. If all technical things work out perfectly, I will be. Okay. So today, what we're talking about is 3 ways to know if you need to make a job shift. Okay. So if you caught my video yesterday, and if you haven't, go ahead and you can either check it out on Facebook or you can go over to YouTube, over to my channel. The description is in the link is in the description below or above, whatever you're on YouTube or whatever, it's below. And you can check on my grab my YouTube channel. If you're watching me on YouTube, go ahead and click subscribe and then the bell to get notification that when I am on, so you don't miss any videos. And you can check out the video from yesterday. But we were talking yesterday about guilt or not guilt. Okay. One of the things that went along with that is what we're talking about today, and that's 3 ways to know if it's excuse me, if it is time to make a shift in the job. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Allergies. So yesterday we talked about guilt or no guilt, and whether to guilt or one of the things that I found as I was going through all of these courses, and I was feeling like I was not being able to be part of my kids' information, my kids' stuff, or having to rush here, having to rush there, and no time to do anything. One of the things was, is do I have the right job for what I'm wanting? Okay. So that is a question. That's where this question came from. How do you know it's time to make a job shift? Okay. So here's just kind of some things that I kind of went through and things that I asked myself as I was doing this. So, and since for those of you that know me, or those of you that don't, family is a big part to me. Family is my big thing. I guess I got all the dogs walking in and out of here today. Uh, but family is a big thing to me. I never wanted to miss out on anything my kids did. And that is part of the reason why I did in-home daycare for 11 years. Okay. After moving from that, I knew I needed to have some sort of income. Wasn't sure what that was going to be. So I kind of, I bounced around to things. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I mean, let's face it, we've all come to the point in our life where, like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? It's a question we ask early in or late in our teens, and then early in, or late in our, 30s, 40s, whatever it might be. Unless you've gotten into your career that you absolutely love and that's where you've been and you're getting great fulfilled, then there's no need to make a shift. Okay. However, if you're finding yourself in that place of, I feel guilty because I want to be with my family, however, my job takes up a lot of my time, you may need to start making, putting forth these thoughts and trying to make that decision. Okay. So the first one is does it fit your family time? Does your job allow you to have your adequate family time? Does it require you coming in early, staying late? Does it require you doing work at home? What does your job take from you, and how much of your family time does your job take from you? I won't lie, I was in a job I absolutely loved what I was selling. Okay, loved what I was selling. However, the boss was so demanding that I ended up spending quite a few of my evenings either on the phone with him or with clients as they would call him and then he would call me. And, yes, it was my job to make a sale, but there was no boundaries. Okay. So that was the biggest one where I was like, okay, I love what I'm doing. However, the boundaries, none. There was no boundaries. Like, if he was awake, I mean, he would call me sometimes at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night to talk to a client. Well, I'm sorry. I'm an early riser, early to bed. Well, not always early to bed, but early riser, early to bed. So I don't answer my phone after 10 o'clock unless it's for an emergency. Okay. So there is that, so what kind of boundaries are on there, and is that job fitting into your family time? Okay. Does the money, I'm sorry, yes, does the money outweigh your giving up your family time? Okay. This is on priorities on every individual person. Okay. For me, money never outweighs my family time. I will never remember how I made that money. Never remember. I will remember my son making an achievement or being there to see him make an achievement that he's been working super hard at. You know, I will remember those. I will remember the times that we had quality time together and we sat down and we had maybe a good conversation, or like I said, or they achieved something, or that we're working on something together. Um, we have horses. I used to train horses, so my kids ask me a lot of questions. If they're running into difficult with things, they ask me a lot of questions, and I'm out there helping them and working with them, or I'm finding them the help and we're working with them. Okay. And here's the biggest thing to me, and this is going to be this kind of ties right into, is the money worth it? Money isn't everything. Excuse me. Money isn't everything. Okay. Money does not create memories. Pay for memories, but it does not create memories. Okay. And you're never going to remember the money you spent to create that memory. Okay. So for me, the money was not everything. Okay. So that's where I decided, with that job and no boundaries, I decided that if I was going to work 50 and 60 hours, sometimes 70 hours for that person, I might as well do it for myself and on my own time. And that's why the shift in coming around. Okay? The other, does morally fit your morals? Okay? I hear this all the time, and I've experienced it myself. Okay? People will come to me or make comments to me like, well, I don't agree with this, but here I am, you know? Or they'll, when you're talking to your friends, they'll vent about something. They're like, well, I don't agree with this because of this. And it'll morally go against what they believe. Okay. But they feel like they're stuck. They feel like they're enslaved into that job, career, whatever it might be. And they may be. I don't know what their situation is always. But, and I don't know what your situation is, but they may be enslaved in that. And that's just something that they have to deal with. However, there's enough people out there looking for jobs and enough positions open. I don't know that I believe that to be true. The other thing is, morally, at the end of the day, would your boss be able to replace you in a couple days? Okay. If you don't morally align with what they're doing, you need to think about that. Will they be able to replace you in a couple days with somebody else? Maybe who is morally aligned with what they're doing. I don't know. But how many times have you heard stories of being in a career for 30 some years, and then all of a sudden they're let go? They don't get their retirement, they don't get that. They're just let go. They don't get their pension, whatever. So the way it used to be, and thinking that we had to get into a job and stay in a years, it's not really that. Things have changed that. So they align you. At the end of the day, do you feel good about what you do? When you walk away from is it just a job and you walk in and you do your thing and then you walk out? Or do you walk out and you feel like you accomplished?